I'm Amy with the Sierra Club Wildlife Team, and I'm here with Marvin Defoe, a tribal elder of the Red Cliff Band of Lake Superior, Chippewa. And Marvin, on behalf of the Sierra Club, I just want to thank you so much for your time today. In fact, we appreciated connecting with you so much last year for Ma'iingan Monday that we wanted to continue that tradition and continue the conversation. So thank you. Marvin, for those of our membership that may not be as familiar with this, what does Ma'iingan mean?
Well, Ma'iingan, Ma'iingan certainly in our language, if you really literally interpret it, it's like it has no boundaries. It kind of wanders around on the land. That's the meaning of Ma'iingan. And it's fitting, it's fitting to the Ma'iingan. It certainly has certain territories and certainly uh, follows follows who we are as Anishinaabe. That's what we call ourselves, Anishinaabe, and that's one of the traits certainly with Ma'iingan and Anishinaabe artists where we work hand in hand. It's like that Ma'iingan certainly is. We consider Ma'iingan our brother, our relative, part of our family. It's very intimately part of our family, very much. So that's how we view the Ma'iingan.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for sharing that. I think that's helpful. I've heard it described as fates intertwined, that there is just a super close connection, and it's a relative. It is. So I think that is an important starting point. Last year we talked about a little bit that Ma'iingan weren't to be feared. That they help us with a variety of things. They help keep the deer herd healthy. And yet, sadly, in the last 12 months, we still continue to see some pretty violent acts towards Ma'iingan here in Wisconsin and across the country. This includes the tragic loss of Wolf 813, a longtime matriarch wolf of the Echo Valley Tribal Pack. And from all of us, I want to let you know that we were deeply shocked and saddened by her loss, and that is still under federal investigation by U.S. Fish and Wildlife. But we would like to honor her and that deep connection that everyone had with her this week during our Wolf Awareness Week. So with that, I'd like to give you space to comment on that, and then how do we continue to build to move forward so that there's less violence and there's more acceptance for coexisting.
Oh, it's like your family, your loved ones. You put so much into that relationship with your loved ones, with your family, and that's how we viewed. I mean, he gave it a number, 813. That was a number where our tribe, our TNR department certainly is. Took a step and kind of collared several wolves. And the idea is to learn about the Ma'iingan, see how they travel and see how they maneuver, certainly on the land. So this one Ma'iingan 813, as you indicated, got killed. Got killed, and it certainly had an impact on those of us who had that relationship, developed that with Ma'iingan. I mean, it was very traumatic to us. It was like losing a family member, like like that. And we had tears, So we're still grieving every time you bring it up because you love that Ma'iingan so much, that it's taken away from you. It's certainly going to have an impact on that. And to be honest with you, we just kind of shake our heads. Why, why does society and people have such a fear or a want a want to get rid of a Ma'iingan. I mean, it's like you have a dog or a pet in your family. You kind of develop that relationship with it. Somebody comes along, opens your door, and kills your dog or kills your cat. It's gonna have an impact on you. So that at
Absolutely.
813, we kind of gave it a number, but but that that feeling is real. It's how can I explain it more as that it's like that. Mingan has a right to live, has a right to exist, and that is our challenge. That is our challenge here in northern Wisconsin, articulating that the those who those with a Ma'iingan walks amongst each other. You got farmers, you got hunters, you have ex-game wardens, you have you know individuals who certainly are. I don't know. I still don't understand. Uh, that's one of our one of our sayings. You try to walk in the moccasins of somebody, and I've tried many times. Try to walk in the shoes of these individuals who uh, who think that way, who want to do harm to the Ma'iingan, and and to be honest with you, I don't understand why. I don't understand why. I mean, our Sanabe perspective certainly is the Ma'iingan certainly has a place on this earth and in our stories and our legends. Had a place in the beginning of time. And when the earth was being made, when the Ma'iingan walked this earth and help name everything on the earth. Everything you see, help name it. Now that's going way, way back.
Yeah.
That's going way back, and it's really, really not something that we chose as Anishinaabe, as humans, uh, for that role, for the mind and the place. I mean, that's what I call universal law.
Mm-hmm.
I call it universal law. Well, that's a universal choice. It's not it's not made by humans. We got laws made by humans for hunting, this, that, whatever, but the law I'm talking about is the universal law. And I believe there's a purpose and there's a reason why the Ma'iingan is going through what it's going through now. And it's up to us. It's up to us to have a voice. It's up to us to have an understanding. It's up to us to put into practice the art of listening. The art of listening to what is that Ma'iingan saying? What is that Ma'iingan trying to tell us? And you got to pick up on it without words. You got to use your Chichaguan, your soul, who you are, to really, really pick up on that. And I think it's telling mankind that things are changing. I mean, right now, my heart goes out to who goes out to the people in Florida right now. I mean, it's just 180-mile-an-hour winds, possibly to get hit tomorrow. That's throughout our history. That's epic. We've never heard or even seen of that, it's almost like a shock. It's almost like a shock to the meteorologist. You know, you kind of knew it was coming, but here it is. And I think that Ma'iingan is part part of that, as well as well as the other animal. You ever hear of the canary in the mine?
Yes.
You know, well, here it is, the Ma'iingan in the world. You
Yeah.
know, and the Ma'iingan in the world, and to pay attention to that, and that's and that's one of the things with Ma'iingan 813. You know that 813 certainly was had a family, and of course our Ron Nardine, you're going to interview him. He has
Mhm.
more intimate
Right.
with that particular Ma'iingan. But even, I'm not sure, but maybe even holding the puppies, the
Yeah.
pups of 813.
Yeah.
And what's really what I've learned, it's really when 813 got killed, it's puppies or it's young ones. It's young one who is probably about a year old. Was just devastated. That was his mother. Was just devastated, and she put in practice her name, and she traveled. She traveled out of the pack, out of our area, went all the way to Duluth, kept going across, and went across the Canadian border.
Wow.
Traveled traveled across the Canadian border, and I think even went west into Canada. And I contributed that to heartbreak,
Yeah.
kind of heartbreak of her mother, the heartbreak of it. And that just amazing. That just amazes me how and how do we know that? Because I believe she had a tag on
Collar. Yeah.
a collar on there. That's why I asked Ron. I said, how'd you know it did it? Well, it had a collar on it. We tracked it, with GPS or somehow.
Yeah.
But that's part of the document documentation why we're trying to take that, and we're learning learning things about the Ma'iingan that we never knew,
Right.
or that we never kind of knew before. But it ain't no different. It ain't no different than us as a human. If our mother got killed and we're so heartbroken, etc., we kind of want to wander too. You
Very
know,
much.
but
Yeah. Well, and going to what you were saying around learning and listening to what Ma'iingan is telling us, I think it's really interesting, and I'd like to highlight this for folks that may not have heard of this, but I found it very cool that Red Cliff has a wolf protection plan. And I think that word choice is so important, protection plan, rather than your typical state agency, which has a wolf management
yeah,
plan. I was wondering if you could shed some light on the word choice and the perspective behind that.
yeah, that was probably 10 years ago or so. TNR had pulling together a management plan. Wolf management plan. Of course, a lot of states have that management plan. So I started. I said, can't we change that? Well, how come? Well, it's like we're trying to manage something. We're trying to manage nature. We're trying to manage something. I said, I don't know. I said, we consider that Ma'iingan our brother. Have any of you ever tried to manage your brother? It ain't gonna work.
It's not going to go over well.
No, it ain't gonna go over well. So I think if we could give it maybe a different word or a different look at it besides besides managing. So that's where he came up with protection.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds a little better. We're not here to manage them, like a herd of cows. Or we're
Right.
trying to protect them. Protect them, learn where their environment that they live, and see what barriers that they may be faced with in the environment, so we can protect them.
Right. Well,
So
I think it's a very valuable perspective, and that's really why I wanted to highlight that. And thank you for elaborating, because I hope that that's the future of agency plans. At least we can only hope. So, well, with that, I want to just say thank you so much for your time, wise words as always. Our members are so honored to learn and hear from you, and better understand the Ma'iingan connection during Wolf. And as certainly we will go on to learn more this Wolf Awareness Week and honor the legacy of Wolf 813. And certainly hopefully bring some silver lining as we continue to grow and bring more awareness to what has happened to her and many wolves, so that it can stop, that we can start to change that moving
right, yeah, yeah. Well, thank you. I thank you, and honored. I'm honored to be talking about my England, talking about our brothers, and uh, honored for the Sierra Club to put on and have a Wolf Awareness Week, if you will, and looking forward to it.